Change the exhaust. Yeah, looks okay. Let's see what she does. Baffle. Without baffle. Today, the Triumph 1050 GT SE. Originally had this great big bazooka on it, and I changed it to this Delkovich, small one, not the dog. And I had someone comment saying thanks for putting the old video on last time, but it was Hoyd and they didn't want it. So I took that comment on board, each to your own. I didn't want to pay £400 for an exhaust, I paid £185 for it, and it was alright, it's fine. Didn't look too bad on either. But with that information, which I'm still not in love with this bike, she's okay. It's triple, it does everything it's supposed to on the packet, but I just find, oh, Kawasaki man, but I've said this before. Anyway, have a look at my other videos and you can see my chats on this, but this is a Triumph today anyway. Still good, but I went and bought a little stubby. Not the best looking. I do like the way it opens the wheel up. I mean, the ST has the exhaust that comes up here, where the GT doesn't. It's got this bigger, well, that huge exhaust there, which comes along here. So I put this one on here, which came to here. Nice verbal, nice little background pops. But I just went on eBay and I bought this, 50 quid basically, and so she doesn't look brilliant, but I wanted to hear the sound, which isn't bad at all. I'll give it to my handy companion here. Start the bike up. I'm only a bit short, which is quite noisy, but first, of course, I have to get the keys. So, alarmed as usual. Inject the car. And I have to say, that sounds absolutely lovely. Oh, I've just washed it. I won't move it too much. That sounds absolutely gorgeous. I took her out yesterday, and the backfire popping noise is to die for. It just pop, 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 pop. You used to do a little bit on this one, nothing on that great big bazooka, but a little bit on that one. But on this one, oh, it just sounds so nice. It just really does reverberate very nicely. I wouldn't have said any extra on speed, or, you know, obviously it's a lot lighter with a tiny little exhaust like that. But yeah, so far I'm happy with it. It may make me love it a bit better. Check out my videos, normally on PEDs, but any bikes I get, I'll always do a review. So have a look at my videos and go from there. But so far, a little stubby, yeah, I'm in love with it. This morning we're going to be looking at the Triumph Sprint GT SE 1050. It's a mouthful. This is a 2013 model. This model is a crash repair, so it's a Cat D. I always look at it that someone's loss is your gain. Retail price for one of these, 6 odd grand, and I got it for a lot less, which is great. And it's been done to a high spec. So here we have Sprint GT 1050. Got the optimizer on at present minute, so it's charging away. Always get an optimizer. It's a 13 plate. As I said, 2013. This is what I'm doing today. I always do it. Huge, great big stroking exhaust on there. That's Cat one as well. We're taking the bolt off down here and taking this off here today. I've got a new one being delivered. Yeah, I suppose I'm funny in that sense. I have to have a bike you can see, so I always like upgrading the lights and you can hear. The last thing I'd ever want is someone saying, "You're always going to get it. I didn't see him, but he didn't hear me." I think he did. This one came with the very nice pannier system on here, which is like the GTR 1400s. I mean, this is the original rack up there. As you can see my panniers for the Kawasaki Versys, which is out there. I do have my Versys. But these ones are huge with Triumph on them. They are an absolute ton. So I thought that getting rid of this huge ton thing as well will ease the weight of the bike. If I'm honest with you, very nicely made. You could never tell. This one, the guy put a new front tyre on it, so I've been told. Come out, done a few miles, slipped over, so he damaged this, which is a new one. Side, dinked the tank, and there's a little bit in there that he cracked. It's all been replaced, which is great. The only bum on this one I'm still waiting for is a little side panel, which is always handy. This has got heated grips, but the guy who I bought it off of didn't connect them up, so they go in here. So bolt, it will come off, and under there's a little square. I've just got to drill it out and then stick that in and plug it in. So I'll have plug and play. Put the old Garmin sat nav on. It doesn't go brilliantly on this one. It goes in there, but it's still good. Right, annoying point. This alarm system. This will annoy you. Spibal one, you know, so it's data tool. As soon as you press it, beep beep beep, and it goes off all the time. And I've found out that if you press the grey button, turn ignition on and turn ignition off again, it's immobilised but not alarmed. It won't, so you can shake it, the alarm don't go off. So that's today's top tip, rather than annoying you constantly, alarm going off and so on. Adjustable handles on these ones, which is great. That's not clever. Performance wise, well, obviously getting off of a 1400 ZZR, it's very different, but I tell you now, it's very, very, very smooth. Gear change is smooth, acceleration is smooth. I've been told that when I take this off, again, obligatory standard few tools, so you need to change things on these ones. I've been told it may run lumpy, although the exhaust I'm getting when you see it says that you have to change nothing. It may run lumpy. Running lumpy don't bother me, as long as performance sound is great. If it's just running lumpy when I'm sitting at traffic lights, well, it don't bother me. It don't bother me at all. Anyway, there we have the the Triumph Sprint GT 1050 SE. The SE, I think, it's got panniers or standard ABS on these. It's a nice bike though. It's not too heavy. Centre stand. Oh, you've got to love centre stands. Obviously, I've got to change the tyres soon. And oh, it's single as well. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, that's a big old bolt. I don't know if you can see that bolt. Woo, that's a big one. That'll be getting up. Straight line riding in it. This is an odd thing from Triumph. What they do is they put this in for the panniers when they sit. They don't knock. I mean, it's an odd thing. I've never seen it before, but I do like the way it looks. I like the way it starts and rides, and hopefully in about a couple of hours, I like the way that it sounds as well. Anyway, check out my videos if you want to. I've got other bike ones on there, and if you're the tattoos, I've got tattoo ones on there. Ignore the rubbish. That's it for today. Part 1, part 2 coming up soon. Morning. I have a handy operator today, so it's not going to be too close to my face. Right, today we're doing a simple oil change. Okay, Pewterlin, one of the best ones. Check this is the right oil filter. Sometimes I do send the wrong one, so I'm always wary about changing an oil filter to make sure they've sent the right one, because the last thing you want to do is take it off and you're buggered. Anyway, today I bought one of these tools. Not used one before. I used to use the old chain, which I'm rubbish at, or good old mallet and screwdriver. Two results. Very messy, very cumbersome, but it works. But today I've used this for the first time. Do you know what? Grip told it really well, so I'm actually quite happy with that today. So make sure you've got some rag, trusty socket as well. I put some extra sockets here just in case I've got the wrong one. I don't want to keep walking back and forth because it's my shed. But anyway, pelts, tin, Sunday roast, board, cut the rags as I said. Now I've already drained all the oil out of this, so it's doing well. So always let it drip into there. I always have an empty can, okay, plastic one obviously, and I put the used oil in there, ready for the fresh one. This is the Sprint GT1050 Triumph, but generally they're all the same. Sometimes you have to take panels off. Some Hondas right at the front. This one's actually quite easy. You can get right under here. And obviously this I've already undone using a little tool, and you'll see the rest of the oil come out, which it is. Make sure you try and catch most of it. It's a messy job, you know, by far. It's a messy job. Anyway, that's the oil filter. And the good thing about being able to take it off in a hole is if you did get the wrong filter sent to you, at least you can put that one back on empty. I mean, and it's not ideal, but you know, if you need to get to work the next day and it takes 3 days delivery, then obviously you haven't got the opportunity just to sit there with your bike empty. Anyway, let as much oil drain out as possible. And I said, this is where the rags come in handy. Wipe up and clean. I've got a board here, but it is my garage. You know, if you do it on the drive, make sure you use some old carpet or something on the floor. Last one was greasy floor. Washing it really doesn't work, and the wife will moan like a bitch when you've got oil everywhere. Anyway, there you go, the basic tools. When you've topped your oil up using a new filter, I always use some old oil and I run it, I think, around the top there and put that really hand tight, okay? You don't need the tools back on it. I've always done them hand tight, just to, you know, as much as you can. If you've got weak ends, then maybe use that just to give it extra tight. And obviously sometimes with the kits you get another seal copper one with these, but this is fine, to be honest with you. That'd be fine to go back on, shouldn't leak at all. And have a check under. When you've topped your oil up, bang to level, which on this one, it's not a glass window, it's a little dip stick. Like dipstick one there. Check your oil in there. Start the bike 30 seconds, turn her off, and then recheck your oil. The reason being is because the filter's going to be empty. So when the filter fills up a little bit, you're always down a quart, whatever you're going to be down. And top it back up to the right level. Give it a nice ride, come back and have a check underneath. Any leaks, tighten what you need to tighten. But generally, it isn't. eBay jobby with that, very cheap. You're looking at £100, possibly more, from a garage just doing an oil change. They don't do the plugs every time, so it's worth doing it yourself, to be honest with you, for a nice sunny morning. It's worth doing it. On this model as well, I did a chain recently, and that was quite annoying. You can't get